So today we're going to take a look at what's going to happen if Mexico tries to form an empire in 2024. Now this video is not meant to be realistic and Mexico would not go ahead and invade its neighboring countries, but just for the sake of this video. Also before the invasions, Mexico is going to militarize their country, but yeah, let's get right into the video. Now after militarizing their country, in order to expand, we can see that the first country which Mexico declares war on is Guatemala. Mexican troops were already stationed on the front lines and they start pushing into Guatemala. The Mexicans push in and capture all of Guatemala without facing much resistance, and in a peace treaty we can see that all of Guatemala got completely annexed by the Mexican Empire. But now the Mexican Empire sends ultimatum to El Salvador as well as Belize, and both these countries had no choice but to accept the ultimatum, and later on we can see that both these countries are now a part of the Mexican Empire. And now the Mexican Empire is further militarizing their country, but this time they are focusing on their navy. We can see that the Mexican Empire has built a very good fleet which is stationed in the Gulf of Mexico, and now we can see that the Mexican Empire declares war on Jamaica. We can see that the Mexican fleet has now surrounded all of Jamaica, and the navy makes a successful naval landing in which they were able to take out all of Jamaica. Later on Jamaica gets annexed, and now the Mexican Empire has a base in the Caribbean Sea, and the main objective was to take control of the Panama Canal. To do that, we can see that the Mexican Empire now has declared war on Panama. Once again, the navy arrives on the coast of Panama and they make one successful naval landing in which they were able to take out Panama City, which leads Panama out of this war. This was a huge success for the Mexican Empire. The United States is really not happy about this, but they're not going to be doing much to the Mexican Empire. And the Mexican Empire is now recruiting troops from all over the country, and they're planning a very major invasion. And this invasion will be of the entire Central America. I mean, not the entire one, because they took out some countries. Now we can see that the Mexican Empire is pushing in from two sides, down in the south and up in the north. They were easily able to take all of Costa Rica, and now they're pushing into Nicaragua. Honduras is also unable to push back the Mexicans, and after losing literally everything, we can see that Honduras goes ahead and surrenders, and now Nicaragua is getting devastated by the Mexican troops. But after losing their capital city, we can see that Nicaragua goes ahead and surrenders. And then later on this kind of happens. The Mexican Empire is looking pretty good, but the Mexican Empire is far from stopping their expansion, and now they go ahead and declare war on Cuba. The far superior Mexican navy now blockades all of Cuba from all sides, and now we can see that the Mexicans make one successful naval landing and they also take out this island. More and more troops arrive from Mexico on the front lines, and these guys push in. The capital city was also taken, but the Cubans still do not surrender. But after getting devastated by the Mexican troops, we can see that the Cubans had no choice but to surrender. And in a peace treaty, we can see that all of these parts of Cuba were completely annexed, and the remaining part is now a vassal state to the Mexican Empire. But the Mexican Empire now has one final country to invade, and to do thus, we can see that the Mexican Empire is now further recruiting more and more troops, and this is the biggest army that Mexico has ever seen. Probably is going to be around 800,000 to 1 million from all over the country, and all of these troops are now at the border, and the Mexican Empire now declares war on Colombia. Now because the Mexican Empire had recruited a lot of troops, the Colombians are unable to push them back, and the Mexican Empire is making some significant gains without facing much resistance. Eventually though, we can see that all of the coastline parts were taken, and now two Mexican armies are going towards the capital city. Both these armies meet up, and after a decisive military campaign, we can see that the capital city was taken, and with the fall of their capital city, and after getting encircled on multiple fronts, we can see that the remaining parts of Colombia just go ahead and surrender. But later on, we can see that all of Colombia got completely annexed, and the Mexican Empire now is at its peak. But if I do a part 2, it's gonna be the Mexican Empire against the US, only if this video gets enough support. But yeah, this is gonna be it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and tell me what you guys want to see in the future. And thank you for watching.